When I tell you to check your bank account 20 minutes after this prayer, I am not asking you to test God like a magician. I am asking you to test your faith, your expectation, and your alignment. Because something powerful happens when a person stops begging and starts believing. Something shifts when you stop praying from fear and start praying from authority. The moment you decide that heaven is backing you up, that divine favor is working behind the scenes, that doors are opening even when you cannot see them, that is the moment your life begins to change. For too long, many people have prayed from a place of desperation. God, please, I hope, maybe, if it's possible. But what if today you pray differently? What if today you pray knowing that you are supported, that abundance is not against you, that opportunity is not avoiding you? What if you pray with confidence? Because prayer is not just words floating into the sky. Prayer is alignment. Prayer is clarity. Prayer is activating the belief that you are not alone in your struggle. When you finish this prayer, I want you to expect something. Maybe it's an unexpected message. Maybe it's a new idea. Maybe it's a payment you forgot about. Maybe it's simply peace replacing anxiety. But expect movement. Expect a shift. Because faith without expectation is just routine. And routine never changed anyone's bank account. Understand this clearly. Miracles do not always come as piles of cash falling from heaven. Sometimes they come as courage. Sometimes they come as a strategy. Sometimes they come as the right connection at the right time. When you pray, you are not just asking for money. You are asking for wisdom, discipline, creativity, and favor. And those things create money. Close your eyes and imagine this. Your financial stress is not permanent. Your current balance is not your final balance. Your past mistakes do not define your future prosperity. You may have struggled. You may have felt embarrassed. You may have looked at your account and felt fear rise in your chest. But today you choose to believe that your story is changing. Say this in your heart. I am open to increase. I am open to opportunity. I am open to overflow. Feel the difference between saying it casually and declaring it boldly. Because the way you speak about money matters. If you constantly say, I'm broke, I'm unlucky, nothing works for me, your mind starts searching for proof of that. But when you say, money flows to me, opportunities find me, I am guided to wealth, your mind begins searching for solutions. 20 minutes after this prayer, when you check your bank account, do it with gratitude. Even if the number hasn't changed yet, your mindset has. And that is the real miracle starting point. Because a wealthy mindset always comes before a wealthy life. No one accidentally becomes financially free. They first become mentally free from doubt, fear, and limitation. You are not meant to live in constant financial anxiety. You are not meant to wake up every day stressed about bills. You are not meant to feel small because of a number on a screen. That number can change. Situations can shift. Doors can open suddenly. But your belief must move first. This prayer is not about superstition. It is about activation. It is about stepping into a new frequency of trust and confidence. When you pray with certainty, you walk differently. You speak differently. You make decisions differently, and those decisions create different results. So right now, release the fear, release the shame, release the doubt. Believe that help is coming. Believe that someone, somewhere, is about to call your name for an opportunity. Believe that the same power that created the universe is capable of arranging your financial breakthrough. And when you check your bank account 20 minutes after this prayer, don't just look for money. Look for signs. Look for hope. Look for any evidence that things are shifting. Because sometimes the biggest miracle is not what appears in your account, but what awakens in your spirit. Your increase is closer than you think. Your breakthrough is already in motion. Pray boldly. Believe confidently. Expect faithfully, and then move with courage. Something is changing, and it starts now. When you pray, do not pray like someone who is defeated. Do not pray like someone who is unsure, hesitant, or apologetic for asking. Pray with expectation, not desperation. There is a powerful difference between the two, and that difference determines how you walk away from the prayer. Desperation sounds like fear. Desperation feels like panic. Desperation whispers, I hope something happens, but I doubt it will. Expectation, on the other hand, stands tall. Expectation says, something is already moving. I may not see it yet, but it is working in my favor. Too many people have been conditioned to approach prayer as a last resort. They wait until the bills are overdue, until the account is nearly empty, until the pressure becomes unbearable. Then they fall to their knees with anxiety in their voice. But expectation does not wait for rock bottom. Expectation prays from confidence. It understands that the same power that created opportunity, creativity, and abundance is still active today. When you pray with expectation, you are not trying to convince heaven to help you. You are aligning yourself with help that is already available. Desperation focuses on what is missing. Expectation focuses on what is possible. Desperation repeats the problem over and over again. Expectation declares the solution before it appears. Think about how you feel when you are desperate. Your shoulders are heavy. Your thoughts are scattered. Your words are rushed. You check your phone nervously. You refresh your bank app with anxiety. You assume the worst before anything even happens. That energy blocks clarity. That energy clouds judgment. That energy keeps you stuck in survival mode. Now imagine praying with expectation. Your breathing slows. Your heart steadies. Your voice becomes firm. You speak as someone who believes they are supported. You thank God not only for what you have, but for what is on the way. You say, I receive increase. I receive wisdom. I receive open doors. You don't say it timidly. You declare it with certainty. That certainty shifts your posture. It changes how you think. It changes how you act after the prayer ends. Expectation is not arrogance. It is trust. It is understanding that you are not alone in your struggle. It is believing that solutions exist even when you cannot see them. When you pray with desperation, you leave the prayer still worried. When you pray with expectation, you leave the prayer alert. And ready for ideas, ready for conversations, ready for unexpected blessings. The truth is, prayer is not only about asking for money, it is about activating alignment. When you pray with expectation, you position yourself to notice opportunities you might have ignored before. Maybe it's a message you finally respond to. Maybe it's a business idea you finally act on. Maybe it's a skill you decide to monetize. Expectation sharpens your awareness. Desperation narrows your vision. Have you ever noticed how people who expect good things tend to see good things? They interpret events differently. A delay is not a disaster, it is redirection. A closed door is not rejection, it is protection. A small payment is not insignificant, it is evidence that more can come. Expectation reframes your experience. It trains your mind to search for movement instead of proof of failure. Desperation makes you chase money. Expectation makes you attract opportunity. There is a difference. When you chase from panic, you make poor decisions. You accept bad deals. You tolerate disrespect. You rush into things that drain you. But when you move from expectation, you are calmer. You negotiate better. You think long-term. You act from confidence instead of fear. Praying with expectation means you believe that something is happening, even when your screen still shows the same number. It means you understand that the visible world often shifts after the invisible world has already been set in motion. Seeds grow underground before they break through the soil. In the same way, breakthroughs are often developing behind the scenes before they appear in your bank account. You must train yourself to replace the language of desperation. Stop saying, nothing ever works for me. Stop saying, I'm always broke. Stop saying, I'll never get ahead. Those words reinforce limitation. Instead, say, things are improving. Say, money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. Say, I am guided to profitable ideas. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but repetition builds belief. Belief shapes action. Action creates results. Expectation also requires patience. Not passive waiting, but active faith. Active faith means you pray and then you move. You pray and then you apply. You pray and then you create. You do not sit still hoping for magic. You cooperate with the blessing. You prepare for the opportunity before it knocks. You organize your finances. You learn new skills. You expand your network. You position yourself as someone ready to receive. When you pray with desperation, you are focused on escaping pain. When you pray with expectation, you are focused on stepping into purpose. That shift is powerful. It changes your energy. It changes your confidence. It changes how others respond to you. People can sense when someone believes in their future. That belief is magnetic. Understand this clearly. Expectation does not deny reality. It does not pretend challenges do not exist. It simply refuses to let challenges have the final word. You can acknowledge your current balance without surrendering to it. You can admit that things are tight without accepting that they will always be tight. Expectation says, "This is temporary. I am growing beyond this." There is also gratitude woven into expectation. When you pray with expectation, you thank God in advance. You say, "Thank you for the provision that is coming. Thank you for the wisdom that is forming. Thank you for the doors that are opening." Gratitude transforms your emotional state. It lifts you from fear into faith, and from that elevated state, you think more clearly and act more boldly. Many breakthroughs are missed because people stop expecting. They pray once, nothing changes immediately, and they return to doubt. But expectation persists. It continues to believe even when results are delayed. It holds the vision steady. It refuses to let negative thoughts dominate. It keeps speaking increase, even when circumstances try to argue otherwise. Expectation also protects your peace. Desperation creates stress hormones, tension, and sleepless nights. Expectation allows you to rest. It allows you to trust that while you are sleeping, solutions are aligning. That peace gives you energy. That energy makes you productive. Productivity increases opportunity. Opportunity increases income. Everything is connected. If you truly want to see change, you must discipline your mind. Every time fear whispers, answer it with expectation. Every time doubt rises, counter it with belief. Every time you feel tempted to complain, choose gratitude instead. This is not denial. It is mental training. Just like muscles grow with repetition, faith grows with repetition. Picture yourself finishing your prayer. Instead of immediately worrying, you smile. You feel calm. You feel steady. You feel certain that something is shifting. That feeling influences your next conversation. It influences the way you respond to emails. It influences the risks you are willing to take. And slowly, quietly, your external world begins to reflect your internal shift. You were never meant to live in constant financial fear. You were never meant to feel powerless over numbers. You have creativity inside you. You have resilience inside you. You have ideas that have not yet been activated. Prayer with expectation unlocks those hidden resources. It reminds you that you are capable, guided, and supported. So the next time you pray, check your tone, check your posture, check your belief. Are you asking like someone who expects nothing? Or are you declaring like someone who knows something is already in motion? Choose expectat, ion. Choose confidence. Choose trust. And when you rise from that prayer, carry that expectation with you. Walk like it. Speak like it. Decide like it. Because the moment you shift from desperation to expectation, you stop reacting to life and start creating it. And that is when everything begins to change. A wealthy mindset comes before a wealthy bank account. That is not just a motivational phrase. It is a principle that has quietly shaped every financial success story you have ever heard. Before the numbers increased, before the contracts were signed, before the investments multiplied, something changed internally. A shift happened in belief, identity, discipline, and perception. Money did not arrive first. The mindset did. Most people think wealth begins with opportunity, luck, inheritance, or a high-paying job. But if that were true, everyone who received those things would remain wealthy forever. Yet history shows the opposite. Lottery winners lose fortunes. Athletes go bankrupt. Business owners collapse after one bad season. Why? Because without the mindset to manage, multiply, and maintain wealth, money becomes temporary. The external increase cannot survive an internal limitation. Your bank account is a reflection. It reflects your habits, your beliefs, your financial education, your emotional control, and your level of self-worth. If deep down you believe you are not capable of handling large amounts of money, you will unconsciously push it away. If you believe money is evil, difficult, or reserved for others, you will hesitate when opportunity appears. If you believe wealth is possible, learnable, and aligned with your purpose, you will move differently. A wealthy mindset begins with responsibility. Instead of blaming the economy, the government, your family background, or your past mistakes, you decide to take ownership. Ownership is powerful. It says, "My future is not random. My decisions matter." The moment you take responsibility, you regain control. And control allows you to make better choices. A wealthy mindset also replaces scarcity thinking with abundance thinking. Scarcity says there is never enough. It says if someone else wins, you must lose. It says opportunities are rare and fragile. Abundance says opportunities can be created. It says skills can be learned. It says value can be increased. Scarcity panics. Abundance plans. Scarcity hoards. Abundance invests. Look at how you react when money comes into your life. Do you immediately spend it to feel relief? Do you treat it as temporary? Or do you see it as a seed? Wealthy thinkers see money as a tool. They ask, how can this grow? How can this create more? They understand that money is not just for consumption, it is for multiplication. That mindset alone changes financial direction over time. Another foundation of a wealthy mindset is delayed gratification. It is the ability to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term stability. This is not about deprivation, it is about vision. When you have a clear picture of the life you want, you become willing to say no to distractions. You invest in skills instead of trends. You build savings instead of chasing appearances. You focus on assets instead of liabilities. Emotional control is another pillar. Many financial problems are emotional problems disguised as money issues. Stress spending, fear selling, impulsive borrowing, comparison purchasing. When you do not manage emotions, they manage your money. A wealthy mindset trains itself to pause, to analyze, to think strategically rather than react impulsively. Calm decisions protect capital. Panic destroys it. Education is critical. You cannot expect financial growth without financial knowledge. A wealthy mindset is curious. It reads. It listens. It studies. It learns about investing, saving, budgeting, entrepreneurship, negotiation. It does not assume that school taught everything necessary. It understands that financial literacy is a lifelong pursuit. And with every new piece of knowledge, confidence increases. Confidence is powerful in wealth creation. If you do not believe you can earn more, you will not ask for raises. You will not increase prices. You will not pitch ideas. You will not start projects. A wealthy mindset believes value can be offered. It focuses on contribution. The more problems you solve, the more value you create. The more value you create, the more income you attract. Your self-image plays a silent but dominant role. If you see yourself as bad with money, you will act accordingly. If you label yourself as always struggling, you reinforce struggle. But when you start seeing yourself as disciplined, capable, and financially intelligent, your behavior shifts. Identity drives action. Action drives results. Patience is part of the equation. Wealth rarely appears overnight in a sustainable way. It grows through consistency, small investments, repeated habits, strategic improvements. A wealthy mindset respects time. It understands compounding. It knows that small percentages accumulated over years become powerful. Impatience sabotages growth. Patience multiplies it. There is also the element of risk tolerance. Not reckless risk, but calculated risk. A wealthy mindset does not avoid risk completely. It studies it. It evaluates upside and downside. It prepares for setbacks. It diversifies. Fearful minds avoid every opportunity because they fear loss. Mature minds understand that controlled risk is necessary for expansion. Gratitude strengthens this mindset. Gratitude keeps you grounded while you aim higher. It prevents greed from blinding wisdom. When you appreciate what you have, you make clearer decisions about what to build next. Gratitude reduces anxiety, and lower anxiety leads to better financial judgment. Networking and relationships matter too. A wealthy mindset values connection. It understands that opportunities often come through people. It builds trust. It communicates clearly. It collaborates. Isolation limits exposure. Exposure expands possibility. Discipline may be the most underestimated factor. Motivation fades. Excitement fades. Trends fade. But discipline sustains growth. Budgeting when you don't feel like it. Saving consistently. Reviewing investments. Tracking expenses. Improving skills. These small repetitive actions build financial stability. A wealthy mindset does what is necessary even when emotions fluctuate. It also avoids comparison. Comparison creates pressure to spend for appearance rather than purpose. A wealthy mindset focuses on personal progress. It measures growth against yesterday, not against someone else's highlight reel. When you stop trying to impress, you start trying to build. Resilience is essential. Losses will happen. Investments may fail. Businesses may struggle. Income may fluctuate. A poor mindset sees failure as proof of incapability. A wealthy mindset sees failure as feedback. It analyzes mistakes without internalizing them as identity. It adjusts strategy and continues forward. Generosity is another interesting element. Paradoxically, those who understand wealth often give. Not irresponsibly, but intentionally. Giving shifts focus from fear to contribution. It reinforces abundance. It builds goodwill. It strengthens networks. It reminds you that money is a resource, not a ruler. Long-term thinking distinguishes wealth builders from earners. Anyone can earn money temporarily. But building wealth requires planning beyond the present moment. Retirement planning, asset accumulation, passive income stream, AMS, estate considerations. A wealthy mindset thinks in decades, not days. Consistency compounds everything. Reading 10 pages daily, saving a percentage regularly, investing monthly, improving one skill at a time. These actions seem small individually, but over years they transform financial reality. The bank account eventually mirrors the discipline practiced quietly. You must also guard your environment. Surroundings influence standards. If you are constantly around negativity, complaints, and defeatist thinking, it becomes normal. If you are around growth-oriented, solution-focused individuals, your thinking expands. A wealthy mindset intentionally chooses influence. Language matters deeply. The words you use about money shape your relationship with it. Instead of saying, "I can't afford it," say, "How can I afford it?" That small shift moves your brain from limitation to problem solving. Instead of saying, "Money is hard to get," say, "Money flows to value." These adjustments seem simple, but they rewire patterns over time. Faith and belief can play a powerful role as well. Believing that you are supported, capable, and guided reduces fear. Fear blocks creativity. Confidence unlocks it. When you trust that growth is possible, you remain open to ideas and opportunities. Remember that wealth is not only about numbers. It includes peace, freedom, options, and impact. A wealthy mindset defines success holistically. It seeks financial stability not just for luxury, but for security, generosity, and flexibility. That purpose strengthens commitment. If you focus only on increasing income without upgrading mindset, you may experience temporary spikes followed by setbacks. But if you upgrade mindset first, income eventually rises to match it, because your decisions improve. Your discipline strengthens, your risk management sharpens, your opportunities expand. When you visualize not just money appearing, but wisdom increasing. See yourself budgeting confidently, negotiating calmly, investing intelligently, managing emotions wisely. Those internal upgrades are the real breakthrough. The bank account will follow. Your current financial situation is not permanent. It is a snapshot of previous thinking and decisions. Change the thinking, improve the decisions. Stay consistent long enough. The snapshot will change. A wealthy bank account is built from invisible habits. It is constructed through unseen discipline. It is protected by emotional maturity. It is expanded by strategic risk. And it is sustained by a mindset that refuses to return to limitation. Before the numbers rise, belief must rise. Before the balance grows, discipline must grow. Before wealth appears externally, it must be cultivated internally. Transform the way you think about money, and over time, money will transform the way it appears in your life. A wealthy mindset always comes first. The bank account simply catches up. Miracles often arrive as opportunities, not just money. Many people think that when they pray for financial breakthrough, the answer must come in the form of a sudden deposit, a lottery win, or an unexpected payment. While these things can happen, they are often the exception rather than the rule. Most divine or universal interventions show up in ways that are less obvious at first, but far more powerful and sustainable. They come as ideas, as doors opening, as connections being made, as courage forming within you to take action you've been too afraid to take. The true miracle is rarely in the currency itself. It is in the shift that enables consistent increase over time. Consider how many opportunities pass by unnoticed because people are only looking for a bank deposit. A text message from a potential client is ignored. An idea for a side B. Ussiness is dismissed. A stranger's advice is overlooked. Opportunities are often disguised in plain sight, requiring awareness, openness, and readiness. Prayer aligns your mind and spirit to recognize these hidden blessings. Without the prayerful mindset, you might pass by the very thing that will create long-term financial change. Opportunities often require action. A miracle does not always mean something is handed to you. Sometimes it is a nudge, a spark, or a direction, and you must act. Waiting for money to appear without taking steps is like waiting for a seed to grow without watering it. The miracle initiates, but your response completes it. When you pray expecting miracles, you become alert. You notice patterns, ideas, and moments that others miss. The universe begins arranging people, timing, and resources to converge at the right moment. Sometimes the miracle is learning. Perhaps an unexpected course, a free webinar, a book you never planned to read, or advice from someone seemingly random, contains the exact insight you need. Knowledge itself can create wealth when applied. A small revelation today can lead to a large financial breakthrough in the coming months. Miracles are often intellectual or spiritual before they manifest materially. That is why keeping an open heart and mind is crucial. Courage is another form of miracle. Often, the barrier between you and abundance is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of loss. A sudden surge of confidence, clarity, or determination is a divine intervention disguised as courage. When you act boldly in the right moment, doors open, contracts are signed, and money begins to flow. Prayer can awaken that courage, turning hesitation into decisive action. Connection is also a common vessel for miracles. A chance meeting, a call, an introduction, or a referral can completely change your financial path. These connections rarely happen by accident. When you are aligned with faith and expectation, the right people come into your life at the right time. These encounters may seem ordinary at first, but they are often the catalysts for extraordinary results. Opportunities often require discernment. Not every chance is a blessing. Some opportunities may lead to setbacks, while others may multiply your resources. The miracle is not in random luck. It is in clarity. Prayer sharpens your ability to see which paths to pursue. It filters distraction from destiny. When you check your bank account or review your financial situation after prayer, you are not only looking for a number to change, you are looking for signs that your mind and life are being aligned with the right opportunities. Persistence amplifies the impact of miracles. One prayer may set the stage, but consistent alignment keeps the flow active. Daily prayer, visualization, gratitude, and mindful action cultivate an environment where opportunities multiply. Miracles are rarely one-off events. They are processes that unfold over time, often in ways that are initially invisible. Faith maintains your momentum while the universe orchestrates the circumstances. Preparation is essential. Opportunities can pass if you are not ready. That is why the miracle often comes as the spark, but you must be prepared to act. This means skills, knowledge, and emotional readiness. The person who recognizes opportunity, who acts decisively, who has discipline and strategy, is the person who benefits. Prayer aligns your spirit, but preparation aligns your ability to receive. Together, they form the foundation for sustainable breakthroughs. Sometimes the miracle manifests as timing. You might have been waiting for months or years, and suddenly things converge in a perfect moment. The deposit, the client, the project, or the investment opportunity appears when conditions are ripe. Divine timing ensures that resources are used effectively. You may not understand the delay, but the alignment is precise. Patience and expectation allow you to trust the unseen orchestration. A miraculous opportunity often challenges you to grow. It may demand new skills, increased responsibility, or the courage to step out of your comfort zone. Many people pray for financial breakthroughs but fail to receive them because they are unwilling to evolve. The miracle arrives, but the person must expand to hold it. Prayer transforms your mindset, your character, and your perception, so you can step into a space where opportunities can be utilized fully. Faith transforms ordinary events into extraordinary possibilities. When you pray expecting miracles, even small signs, like a helpful message, a spark of inspiration, or a minor financial gain, become stepping stones. Each step reinforces belief, increases awareness, and builds momentum. The miracles compound, creating conditions where consistent increase becomes inevitable. Awareness is a key part of receiving opportunities. Miracles are often subtle. A casual conversation can reveal a hidden need that you can serve. A missed bus could lead you to meet someone important. A delayed payment may redirect you toward a more lucrative opportunity. Prayer cultivates presence and perception, allowing you to see what others overlook. The miracle is not always a sudden influx of money. It is the awakening to paths that lead to financial growth. Miracles often teach lessons. Even setbacks carry value if you are attentive. A deal that falls through might redirect you to a better one. A failed investment might educate you for a future one. Prayer prepares your heart and mind to interpret these events constructively. Miracles are rarely isolated. They are part of a larger story that unfolds. 1. You remain aligned with purpose and opportunity. Gratitude is a magnet for miracles. Recognizing and appreciating what you already have amplifies your capacity to receive more. Thankfulness shifts energy from lack to abundance. It cultivates joy and reduces anxiety, both of which cloud judgment and block opportunity. A heart of gratitude sees opportunity, embraces growth, and multiplies what is received. Action is inseparable from miracles. You cannot rely solely on prayer to create wealth. The miracle sets the stage, but you must perform the work. Opportunities often require decisive steps: sending an email, pitching an idea, investing time, learning a skill, or taking a calculated risk. The divine spark meets human action to produce results. This is the dance between faith and effort. Prayer transforms mindset, perception, and readiness, which in turn transforms results. By focusing on alignment, awareness, and gratitude, you prepare yourself for the unseen mechanisms that create abundance. Miracles arrive as ideas, courage, timing, connection, insight, and opportunities. They rarely appear as immediate deposits, but they form the foundation for long-term financial growth. As you prepare to check your bank account 20 minutes after prayer, do not focus solely on the digits. Look for signs that your mind, spirit, and life are aligning. Notice how ideas come easier, how connections appear, how clarity replaces confusion. The miracles often manifest in these subtle ways before the tangible numbers shift. Your financial breakthrough is being seeded. The external manifestation is catching up to the internal preparation. Remember, miracles are rarely accidental. They follow alignment, expectation, and readiness. When you approach life with faith, gratitude, and discernment, opportunities multiply. When you act with courage, preparation, and patience, those opportunities transform into tangible results. Money is a reflection of alignment. When mindset, action, and divine timing converge, miracles appear. Be alert, be patient, be thankful, and be ready to receive. The universe is orchestrating the path to your increase, often through invisible yet undeniable opportunities. Your current balance is not your final story. This is a truth that many people struggle to accept because they allow numbers on a screen to define their worth, their potential, and their future. They wake up every day, check their bank account, and feel a wave of anxiety, shame, or fear. They measure their value by a number that reflects only what has happened so far, not what is possible. But your current situation is a snapshot of previous thoughts, habits, and circumstances. It is not a permanent reflection of what you are capable of achieving. Your financial story is still being written, and the pen is in your hands. Too often, people confuse temporary setbacks with permanent failure. A low balance is not a sentence. It is a signal. It is a message from the universe, from life, or from God, that something needs attention, adjustment, or realignment. It is a call to pause, reflect, and then act with clarity. Understanding that your current balance is not your final story allows you to release fear and step into action without being paralyzed by the numbers. It allows you to see potential where others see limitation. Your past mistakes, poor choices, or missed opportunities do not define your future. Everyone has financial setbacks. Everyone experiences moments of struggle. The difference between someone who stays stuck and someone who rises is how they respond. Those who rise do not dwell on the failure. They analyze, learn, and adjust. They understand that growth often comes through challenge and that every setback carries a lesson that prepares them for future success. Your bank account today may not reflect abundance, but your choices, mindset, and actions can change that tomorrow. It is essential to separate your identity from your balance. You are not broke. You are not financially incapable. You are a person with potential, creativity, and the capacity to create wealth. Limiting self-labels only reinforce scarcity thinking. When you tell yourself you are defined by the number in your account, you inadvertently program your mind to maintain that state. But when you see yourself as someone capable of growth and abundance, your mind begins to search for solutions, opportunities, and strategies that match that identity. Understanding that your current balance is not permanent also requires faith and vision. Faith is the belief in possibilities beyond what you can currently see. Vision is the ability to imagine a better reality and take steps toward it. Together, faith and vision shift your focus from what is lacking to what can be created. They allow you to imagine a bank account that reflects your potential rather than your past, to see doors opening where you once saw walls, and to anticipate solutions where others see only problems. Financial transformation begins with mindset. The numbers will not rise simply because you wish them to. They rise because your thinking, habits, and decisions create circumstances that attract resources. Scarcity thinking, fear, and anxiety block opportunity. A mindset focused on growth, possibility, and abundance attracts it. When you align your thoughts, words, and actions with the belief that you can increase, your life begins to shift, even before the balance changes. Action is equally crucial. Recognizing that your current balance is not your final story is not enough if you do not act. Action transforms potential into reality. It may involve learning new skills, seeking opportunities, networking, starting a side project, improving budgeting, or investing wisely. Small, consistent steps accumulate over time, producing results that can appear sudden, but are built on the foundation of persistent effort. The miracle is often invisible before it becomes tangible. Your current balance also teaches patience and resilience. It reminds you that wealth is rarely instantaneous. Most financial success stories are a result of cumulative effort, learning, and perseverance. Those who achieve lasting wealth understand that temporary numbers do not dictate long-term outcomes. They view delays and low balances as part of a process, not as a reflection of incapacity. They remain consistent in their habits, focused on their goals, and adaptable to changing circumstances. Gratitude plays a key role in transforming perspective. Even in a low-balance situation, there is always something to be thankful for: a skill, a connection, a small source of income, or the ability to take action. Gratitude shifts energy from lack to possibility, from fear to empowerment. It opens your mind to see solutions, notice opportunities, and attract positive outcomes. When you are thankful for what is present, you create space for more to enter. Your current balance is not your final story, because you are capable of growth beyond what you have yet experienced. Every skill you acquire, every idea you pursue, every action you take, contributes to a trajectory that changes your circumstances. Wealth is not simply about accumulation. It is about expansion, contribution, and alignment with opportunity. When you focus on building yourself, your mindset, and your skills, the numbers eventually follow. Expectations shape outcomes. If you believe your financial situation is permanent, you unconsciously reinforce that reality through doubt, fear, and hesitation. If you believe your balance can grow, you begin to notice opportunities, act decisively, and make choices that align with growth. Expectation is not blind optimism. It is a conscious decision to trust the process, prepare for opportunity, and believe in your ability to rise beyond current circumstances. It is also important to understand that miracles and shifts often arrive when least expected. Your current balance may remain the same for a time, but unseen processes, learning, and preparation may be setting the stage for a breakthrough. The universe, divine timing, or strategic circumstances often orchestrates change behind the scenes. Patience combined with expectation ensures that you remain receptive and ready to act when the opportunity appears. Your current balance is not your final story because you are not defined by numbers. You are defined by potential, persistence, and purpose. Your actions, mindset, and choices determine the trajectory of your financial life. Temporary limitations are stepping stones, not walls. They are invitations to grow, learn, and expand beyond what you thought possible. Each decision you make today influences the numbers you will see tomorrow, next month, and next year. The power of narrative cannot be underestimated. When you tell yourself that your current balance is temporary, you rewrite the story in your mind. You create a mental framework that allows growth and change. Storytelling is the foundation of vision. Your thoughts, words, and beliefs act as the plot that shapes the unfolding of your life. By consciously narrating a story of abundance, resilience, and progress, you prime yourself for real-world results that align with that story. Opportunities are abundant when you believe in growth. Your current balance may seem limiting, but it is a platform, not a prison. It provides lessons in resourcefulness, discipline, and problem-solving. The challenges you face now equip you with skills, perspective, and experience that multiply your success when financial increase arrives. Temporary struggle is often the prelude to lasting abundance. Financial setbacks cultivate humility, wisdom, and focus. They reveal areas that require improvement, habits that need correction, and decisions that must be reconsidered. A wealthy person views these moments as training, not punishment. They extract lessons, implement changes, and adapt their strategy. The low balance today becomes a teacher, preparing you for the higher balance tomorrow. Your mindset and emotional state are just as important as your bank account. Fear, anxiety, and scarcity thinking create limitations, while hope, confidence, and belief create possibilities. When you cultivate a mindset of abundance, take deliberate action, practice gratitude, and remain patient, your financial reality begins to reflect your internal state. Your balance changes as a mirror of your growth, perspective, and resilience. The journey from a low balance to financial breakthrough is rarely linear. There will be ups and downs, unexpected expenses, and moments of doubt. Yet, every step, every decision, every learning, every act of persistence adds momentum to your trajectory. By acknowledging that your current balance is not your final story, you embrace the possibility of expansion, growth, and transformation. When you pray or focus on your financial increase, remember that numbers are only one aspect of the story. The unseen changes, your mindset, your skills, your perspective, your discipline, are the true indicators of growth. Miracles often manifest in preparation, insight, and readiness before they appear as tangible deposits. Trust in the process, take action, and remain consistent. Your financial story is still being written, and the chapters ahead hold opportunity, abundance, and breakthrough. No matter how limited your current balance may feel, it does not determine your future. You are capable of increasing your income, creating opportunities, and building wealth that reflects your potential. Every lesson learned, every skill developed, every connection made, every act of discipline contributes to the narrative of abundance. Your current balance is not your final story. It is merely the beginning of a journey toward financial freedom, empowerment, and lasting success. Gratitude activates increase. This simple truth is often underestimated, but it holds immense power for transforming your financial life and your entire experience of reality. Most people focus on what is missing, what they lack, and what has gone wrong. They wake up, check their bank account, and immediately feel the weight of scarcity. They fixate on unpaid bills, dwindling funds, or missed opportunities. Their thoughts spiral into worry, fear, and frustration, and that energy blocks the very flow they are seeking. Gratitude, on the other hand, shifts everything. It changes the lens through which you see your life. It transforms scarcity into abundance, limitation into opportunity, and fear into faith. When you practice gratitude, you are acknowledging that there is already something working in your favor. You are recognizing that no matter how small, there are elements of your life that are functioning, providing, or supporting you. A roof over your head, food to eat, a skill you possess, a connection you can rely on, a lesson you have learned. These are all seeds of abundance. Gratitude trains your mind to notice these seeds, which in turn opens your mind to notice the larger opportunities that are often hidden from view. It is the act of recognizing what you already have that allows more to flow to you. Gratitude also aligns your energy with positivity and possibility. The human mind is wired to focus on what is missing as a survival mechanism. But when you consciously shift to thankfulness, you redirect your energy. This redirection is powerful because your thoughts and emotions create your reality. When your heart and mind dwell in thankfulness, you are no longer anchored by lack. You begin to see paths forward, to recognize solutions, and to act with clarity. Opportunities that were invisible before become noticeable. Ideas emerge when you least expect them. People respond differently to you when your energy is positive and aligned with abundance. One of the most transformative aspects of gratitude is how it reshapes your relationship with money itself. When you approach money from a place of fear or lack, you tend to hoard it, stress over it, or make impulsive decisions out of panic. But when you cultivate gratitude, even for the smallest amount in your account, you begin to handle money differently. You become intentional, disciplined, and strategic. You recognize that every dollar is an instrument for growth, a tool for investment, and a seed for future increase. Gratitude transforms your attitude toward wealth, from one of desperation to one of empowerment. Gratitude also strengthens faith and expectation. When you are thankful for what is already present, you trust more easily in what is coming. You begin to believe that the universe, God, or divine intelligence is already working on your behalf. This trust reduces anxiety and creates a mental and emotional space for miracles and opportunities to enter. It primes you to notice small signs, to take inspired action, and to seize moments that others might miss. Gratitude is not passive. It is an active declaration that your life is supported and that you are open to receive more. It is important to practice gratitude deliberately and consistently. Many people wait until laughed after a financial increase to feel thankful. But the secret is to be grateful before the manifestation. Thankfulness is a frequency. When you operate at this frequency, you attract experiences, people, and resources that resonate with it. It is the energy of gratitude that often triggers the flow of abundance, not merely the act of receiving money. By appreciating what you have, you amplify the potential for more to come. Gratitude also encourages generosity, which further multiplies your abundance. When you give, whether through time, resources, or skills, from a heart of thankfulness, you reinforce the belief that there is more than enough. This principle is simple yet profound. Abundance expands when shared. Those who hoard from fear remain in scarcity. Those who share from gratitude remain in the flow of increase. Generosity is not merely a moral choice, it is a practical one for anyone seeking financial growth and opportunity. Your words, shaped by gratitude, carry immense power. How you speak about your finances affects your subconscious mind and the energy you project. Statements like, "I am grateful for every opportunity that comes my way," or "I appreciate the abundance that already exists in my life," set a tone for how you perceive your financial reality. They reinforce a mindset of possibility rather than limitation. Over time, these affirmations change how you think, how you act, and how the world responds to you. Gratitude also builds resilience. Financial setbacks, unexpected expenses, and challenges are inevitable. When you practice thankfulness, you can navigate these challenges with composure. Gratitude does not deny the existence of difficulty. It simply allows you to maintain perspective and emotional equilibrium. This steadiness is crucial because panic, frustration, and fear lead to poor decisions, missed opportunities, and further loss. Grateful individuals approach problems with a mindset of solution and growth rather than defeat. Opportunities themselves are often hidden in the challenges you face. A sudden expense, an unexpected obstacle, or a setback may contain within it the seed of growth, a lesson, or a redirection toward a better path. Gratitude enables you to see these hidden opportunities. It shifts your focus from what is wrong to what is possible, from what is lost to what can be gained. Every challenge becomes a teacher, every limitation a clue, and every obstacle a doorway. Gratitude also fosters creativity. When you operate from a state of thankfulness, your mind is free to explore solutions, generate ideas, and envision new possibilities. Scarcity thinking constrains the imagination. Anxiety narrows the mind. Gratitude expands it. This creative energy is often the vehicle through which financial miracles arrive. A simple idea, when acted upon, can generate income, opportunity, and long-term growth. Recognizing the power of gratitude, allows you to tap into this creative flow consistently. Your actions, when guided by gratitude, become more intentional and aligned. Instead of acting out of desperation, you make decisions from a place of clarity and purpose. Budgeting becomes a mindful exercise rather than a chore. Investments become calculated rather than impulsive. Work becomes a contribution rather than a struggle. Gratitude transforms how you interact with money, opportunities, and people, leading to outcomes that reflect your inner alignment. Another aspect of gratitude is patience. Many people expect immediate results after a prayer, visualization, or effort. When they do not see immediate change, they become discouraged. Gratitude shifts the focus from instant results to the journey and the process. It allows you to appreciate small wins, notice progress, and remain consistent in your actions. The combination of patience and thankfulness creates fertile ground for sustained increase and lasting abundance. Gratitude also enhances awareness. When you are thankful, you are more likely to notice subtle signs, guidance, and opportunities that others overlook. A passing comment, a casual suggestion, or a minor connection may hold the key to your next breakthrough. Thankfulness opens your eyes to these possibilities and positions you to act on them. The miracles of financial increase often begin as small, seemingly ordinary events, which gratitude helps you recognize and seize. Prayer, expectation, and gratitude work together in a powerful synergy. Prayer aligns your spirit and intention. Expectation sets the tone of certainty and confidence. Gratitude activates the flow, creating receptivity and energy that attracts opportunities. When combined, these practices transform not only your mindset, but also your ability to receive, act, and sustain increase. They cultivate an environment where financial growth is not only possible, but inevitable. When you check your bank account, after engaging in prayer with expectation and gratitude, do not measure success solely by the numbers. Look for the shifts in your mindset, the clarity of your actions, the openness to opportunities, and the sense of peace that replaces fear. Even small changes are significant because they indicate that your internal alignment is in motion. These shifts, when nurtured, compound into tangible increase over time. Gratitude ultimately rewires your perception. It teaches you to focus on abundance rather than lack, on opportunity rather than limitation, on growth rather than fear. It transforms the way you think, the way you act, and the way the world responds to you. By cultivating a consistent practice of thankfulness, you position yourself as someone ready to receive, someone aware of opportunity, and someone capable of transforming potential into reality. Your financial increase begins in your mind and heart. It is nurtured by gratitude, disciplined by action, amplified by expectation, and guided by wisdom. The numbers in your account are a reflection of the invisible work you do internally. Gratitude is the catalyst that activates this invisible work. It awakens awareness, inspires action, and aligns your energy with abundance. By making gratitude a central practice, you open the door for consistent increase, meaningful opportunities, and lasting prosperity. Increase is not just a matter of luck or external circumstance. It is a reflection of the energy you carry, the mindset you cultivate, and the gratitude you practice. When you are thankful for what you have, you attract more. When you recognize opportunities, act with intention, and maintain faith, your financial reality begins to shift. Gratitude is not simply a feeling. It is a force that activates increase and aligns you with the flow of abundance in every area of life.